I am so happy to be sitting here today with you. So just tell the people, I think it's really important to kind of set the tone. Like, where are you from? How did you get started? Of course, I've been doing all the research
Thank you.
about you,
Thank you.
Mr. Jimmie Drummond, because I
Thank
want
you.
to know. Like, I'm like, oh, you are really, really kind of changing the landscape for
Mm,
me, at least in
mm.
DC. And so, yeah, tell the people about yourself. Like, how did you get started? Where are you from? Who built you?
Yeah. First off, congrats to you,
Thank
and thank
you.
you for the opportunity to share, my story. Well, first, I'm very proud to be a native Prince George's County resident. That's where I started from. Born to Jimmy and Jean Drummond, who were Howard graduates. I was born at Howard University, taught at Howard, educated at Howard. Now we're designing the Howard Hospital. Um, who am I? I think I started off very curious as to why things are the way they are. And I have to give credit to my parents. My dad, who's a military veteran, but he was also a missionary, and he took me with him at an early age to travel the world, and that sort of polarizing dynamic of living, of community, of village, was very just different as I was able to travel the world. Tied to that was my mom, who's a business owner. Shout out to her company, Healthcare Dynamics International. She's got over 250 employees in 14 different states.
Wow.
And just seeing her grow her company over 34 years, there was just an innate passion for not only business, but inspiring leadership, making impact. So that was a sort of combination of what of what really drived this Drummond Projects today. Um, I always had in addition to the curiosity, I always loved art and sketching, and I had art shows when I was 12 years old.
So you started out as a
Um,
visual artist.
visual
I can
artist.
tell. I can see
Yeah,
that.
yeah. It was. It's interesting how I actually didn't know much about architecture, which I think is a reflection of the privilege where we as creatives sit in terms of design and understanding that design, in fact, is a privilege. And if you look at us as just a people, a race, we weren't afforded the opportunity to design.
Yeah.
We had this sense of frugality, this sense of oppression, especially in the nation's capital, where we were just fortunate enough to maybe have a shelter, right? And so now where we're coming into our generation in particular, where we do have the opportunity to think about what careers we have. Most of us may be the first generation college students,
Yeah.
right? That advancement is something where I'm very, very proud to lead, take that step of faith and start, my own interdisciplinary architecture firm, Drummond Projects.
Yeah.
Um, a little bit more. I mean, my first job, I was a apprentice with a family friend who was a carpenter. So we would build decks and
Come on, Jesus.
framing, and yeah, I mean, I was just like, I wanted to get my
Yeah.
hands. I mean, outside of that, I love basketball, love sports, loved music. I have a little brother who's not little anymore by any means. He's now 6'5", and once he passed me in 10th grade, He went on to, he's Hall of Famer now at Toledo University in basketball.
That's amazing.
But at 10th grade, I was like, you know what? He's got basketball. I want to figure out my passion.
Yeah.
And that's where that curiosity is sparked to, why are things the way they are?
I think too, you talked a little bit about like, I think the privilege that all of us DMV natives have growing up in Prince George's County and seeing Black wealth and having a little bit more than what's the norm in America. Like, I think we are kind of at an advantage here, as Black people.
Absolutely.
Like, we don't know, like, we grew up
Absolutely.
seeing the doctors and the lawyers and, like your mom, the entrepreneurs, and then being able to see the world and having the privilege to dream,
Absolutely.
so to speak, right? And so I know you went on to HU. I know my HU folks are going to be so happy. Yes, there's another one. So you went on to attend the Mecca.
Yeah.
And then from there you went to New York, correct?
Yeah.
And so just talk to me a little bit kind of about, because you're still very young.
Yeah.
Just following this dream and that desire to really, like you said, carve out your own lane, to explore different avenues, and just how that felt like as a Black man.
Yeah. To touch on the earlier point you made, and also tied to even the Mecca, our location and our proximity being close to the nation's capital and the DMV, we are very, just at a foundational level, very rich, right? Tied to that, we do have, as African Americans, the most influential, impactful people in positions of power, who are in position to make impact and influence on every industry, more or less, right? And as a result of that, you have Prince George's County, which is arguably the most affluent county, African-American county in the country, right? Now, we're now entering a time where, as I believe that architecture is the most powerful manifestation of maybe success, of identity, of culture. If you look back in in the 70s, where you had these on a national level, these sort of beautiful postmodernist buildings, like maybe the Hirshhorn, or when the HUD building came along, and
or
those
even
were
the
symbols,
Smithsonian,
or
the
even
Blacksonian.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, and even before then, though, there was this notion of power that our countries used to show DC as a platform, right?
The obelisk.
Absolutely. But even to Howard University, where, our location is why we have so many powerful, successful, not only just political figures, but law, medicine, engineering, sociology, history, right? And, there is this sort of entering, especially now, where you now have the African American Museum of History and Culture, where is this representation of identity, of how far, where we've come, and then let's celebrate, our journey, but also recognizing how much more we have to go. Yeah. And a part of that too is recognizing where, and back to traveling, when I studied in New York at Parsons. When I graduated, and I didn't even know this, but my counselor said, "Jimmie, you're the first African American to graduate with a master's in architecture and lighting design." Wow. And I was like, nah, right.
The weight of it.
Yeah, the weight, the responsibility of it. I mean, sure, it's cool, but I was like, the first?
What that mean?
Like, what that mean? Yeah. And I kept asking myself, what does that mean?
Yeah.
And that's a part of what energizes me to wake up, give every day 100%, aim for that 1% better mark. And you know, it combines this idea of Drummond Projects in that we are an interdisciplinary office because we see the opportunity that is in front of us, and you know what our responsibility is to extend just beyond architecture. And I mentioned lighting design. Lighting design was that reach back to the arts, right? You know, they say, you know, good space or good design with bad lighting is bad design.
It gives
right?
theater.
It
gives,
is, yeah. It's the experience.
Yeah.
It's that curation of that holistic approach. And so, you know, that's that. You know, it's the realizations. It's the comprehensive understanding of where we are in the landscape, and that it just fuels me. It fuels this every day.
Yeah. Well, I think that I was most intrigued because, like I said, I am one of those people that's always asking questions. You know, when you grow up in DC, we all feel like this is our city. We want to know who did this, who did that. And so I think what was really impressive to me is that your name kept coming up. I would go to these spaces. I would go to Shanklin. I would go to HQ. I would go to Soast. And I'm like, who, what is his name? Where is he from? Like, I really just wanted to know. And I think for me, a lot of people use, especially creators, you know, you need something to reset your palate on social media. And so similar to people using coffee to reset their palate for wine tasting, I use architecture. So I follow the Danny Wangs. I want to know who did Swiss Beats in Alicia's house. I want to, but they all are not Black people. But I am really fascinated by architecture just as a, not only a design element, but the way it can really make people feel. I also have a little bit of the travel bug, so I'd be lying if I'm not like, when I go to Mykonos, what does that look like? Or how did they carve this out? Or so when I found out about you, I said, oh, I need to talk to him. I didn't know how, I didn't know why, I just really was like, man, how did you land on architecture? And then tell us a little bit about how you got into these partnerships, really creating some of you are like the LeBron of architecture in DC right now. And so how did you get involved? I don't know if people know that the same person is behind so many of these like DC Black staples right now.
Thank you. That's a
I know. I threw a little basketball reference in there because I know y'all would love that.
I appreciate it. That's a heavy one, but I appreciate it. First, I think it starts with people. The curiosity started from people, ideas of community. The first people to even give us an opportunity were our people. Fast forward now, maybe 95% of our projects are for women-owned businesses, small minority-owned businesses. We have over 2,000 affordable housing units in Washington, D.C. alone. It also started from understanding the need and the responsibility that design has. And then when I've realized that, it then turned to, no, our community needs equitable design. They need thoughtful, just good design. And then there's a subset too of just the education of design. I mean, you know, I'd be lying if I told you I knew much about architectural lighting before I went to get my master's in architectural lighting. But as I'm sitting there in the classrooms and practicing, I was like, no, this is like, everyone needs to know
the shadowing,
I mean, even just light and well-being, how it actually can be calibrated and designed to actually improve our overall just well-being. Not only that, but of course the environmental studies that are now coming out. So it was a combination of, again, our responsibility, but it started in the people. You know, if you're asking how we get projects, you know, it's scary to say that we don't do much marketing, it's amazing people like yourself who actually have taken the time to seek or have the you know, the curiosity and or appreciation of good design. And then we talk about it. I think Drummond Projects, the name even, the idea of projects, understanding that there's a lot more work to do outside of the practice, is a part of my just personal goals of education, of programming, of sharing the importance and or the opportunities that design is able to impact. And as a result of that, we were able to have a few nice projects like the SOS.
Oh, not a few. Not the modesty. SOS.
Yeah.
HQ.
Yeah.
Elmina. Yeah, keep going. The list, the receipts are there.
Yeah,
Fresh.
It's been a blessing. I mean, the hospitality ones, I'll say, that one is just the idea of hospitality is all about experience.
Yeah.
And tied to experience, when you put experience and design together, what's the story, right? If I wasn't if we didn't practice as an architecture firm, it would be storytelling, it would be film. Like, I love film and photography, right? But how do we tie in
Ryan
that experience?
Coogler makes me want to write a movie. I went to see Sinners and I said, I need to do a script.
Exactly. I love Ryan Coogler is, he's a magician, he's a master.
Yeah.
So that idea of bringing those projects and giving them, taking the vision and giving it a story is where, we fascinate over, combined with the realities of timeline, budget, means and methods. How do we get there? The planning, the operations.
Yeah.
So it's a fine sort of mix of all these ingredients and how to make it come together.
I think what's really cool for me is, I talk a lot about like third spaces. Like, I'm always at the spa or I want to go to a little coffee shop but I feel like all of the things that you have done feel like third spaces. They feel like a gathering, whether even if it's this space, I'm like, okay, well, we could really sit in here and chit chat. It feels like a co-working space, or it feels like, and I think that's really, it speaks to like the intentionality and the thoughtfulness behind what you all are doing. That feeling of warmth when you come in, even though this is you all's office. I'm just feeling like, oh, okay, well, we could lay out here for a minute. I was reading your interview with Essence, which congratulations. Amazing. And you said that one of the people that you would love to work with was Pharrell, which makes so much sense because I know he had the Good Time Hotel, and Pharrell is also a multi-hyphenate creative, and he is part of the V. Maybe not the region, but we're going to add him and Pusha and the Clips and all of them in there, right?
Absolutely.
What would be who are the top people you would love to work with them? Like I said, I follow architecture a lot. And I work in entertainment. So of course I'm like, Swiss and Alicia in Architectural Digest or, their home. And so for me, I would love to amplify, like, there is a Black architect who is doing this work at scale. Who could also do those projects. So who are just in case they may see this, we want to put it out there and manifest. Like, okay, we got Pharrell. Who's your Mount Rushmore? If you could work with them.
I mean, I think, and thanks for mentioning that. Obviously, Pharrell for all creatives would be an amazing collaboration, right? I've just admired his work. Across all just platforms, but I think the key is just really excellence. It's Black excellence, but I would say I mean, you name so many different, from developers to celebrities to even artists who have been just pioneers, right? So expanding on, Pharrell, I think, I mean, for example, even Tyler Perry's studio, right? There is a certain type of agency, that's rooted not only in purpose but our people, and oftentimes, I will want there to be more of me, because if I'm not afforded may not have the opportunity to work with them, they should look to us, and I'm very, very proud to foster and raise up the next creative entrepreneurs, architects, designers, people to really make that impact. So I mean, there's the list goes on.
Yeah.
Outside of Pharrell, I mean, you could name a lot of celebrities who have these ambitions to develop, similar to Pharrell. That I would say put them all out there. I'm not even going to name.
I know, because you could work with them all.
I would love to.
Yeah, there's so much opportunity there. I was even thinking about when you were talking about Tyler Perry Studios. Of course, I called you Little Braun of DC Architecture, but I was thinking about his I Promise schools and how intentional those are crafted. I just think there's so much space, right? And again,
Absolutely.
we often see the influencers and the artists, and they all have something to contribute. But I think what you're doing in space creation, these are the MacArthur Grant Fellows that I see, I just think it's a really, really unique niche that you've carved out here for yourself.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
and
you.
I feel very just proud, like a proud cousin. Like, look at my cousin. Yeah, I think, okay, so quick lightning round. So the future of Black design is?
The future of Black design is, that's a good one. There's so many words. Is realized. Black design ties into identity. Identity ties into, it's just having a voice. And I think we need that to be amplified more, and, now for sure, but also even more so in the future.
I love that. The one piece of advice you would give other Black entrepreneurs is?
It's don't give up. Just don't give up. And if I could add just, 1% better. That's what I tell myself. It's less about don't give up. Because there are some days where it's like, oh man, phone's not ringing, payroll's hitting.
Yeah.
But it's just really finding your inner, that infinity tank, right? And I'm very, very fortunate to realize, or to have mine, because it's no longer like, don't give up. But for ones who are just starting out, it's I'll tell you, money isn't a driver, right? In fact, I'd argue I'd make more money doing other things. But it's knowing that I've found my sort of infinity pack that keeps me fueled, keeps me energized. And really, asking myself that early on, this is it. This is, my purpose and passion. And don't force it either.
Yeah.
It's more than one, but I wanted to just get it out there.
You know, people ask this question, and I'm always like, "Ain't nobody think about that. We just trying to live." But I think it's a very poignant question here. There is a Erykah Badu song that goes, "No, they won't be naming no buildings after me to go down dilapidated," right? But in a way, they will be naming buildings after you.
Yeah.
Your name is in every single building you touched. And so I think about, or have you thought about your legacy, you know, when your kids are grown and your grandkids and, you know, all the people who love you are gone, what is that legacy? I think about all of the people that have come before us that have created institutions, so to speak.
Absolutely.
And so what is that institution that you want to leave behind, or that legacy? What do you hope?
Absolutely. I'm glad you asked that. And it's crazy now that I have a baby girl on the way.
Oh,
That I did. Thank you.
congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm already melting inside.
Mine
But
is
that's
18, okay, in
18.
college.
Okay.
So
All right.
enjoy it.
Enjoy
Every
it every
moment.
moment, right?
Every
I hear it
moment.
happens fast. Legacy is it's building on where my parents have started. It's the foundation that they've set up for me and my brother. Is how to ensure not only the sustainability of it, but to amplify it. Right. So family is first. Then it's obviously to our village, to our community. It's when when I'm long and gone, what if we actually live outside of the restaurants and the nice designs? It's really for the next generation. What can they take away? And that idea of education is very, very important. And that's one of my just personal goals. I mean, I'm 34 with a lot more ahead of me to learn. And part of that too is the programming. It's bringing high school, middle school students in here and showing them, what architecture looks like, or what it means to even run a small business. While also, it's a tough market, but to give them, that just to see and experience, it's important to just see it, and so they can say, I like that. I can do it too. And then for Drummond Projects, I mean, I would love for the company to go beyond. By beyond meaning other architects, partners, developers, furniture lines. I've been into
I can
lighting.
see a Drummond Projects home goods.
Yeah. Jimmie Drummond Home Goods. I've got a little journal working through.
A little vision board.
Absolutely. And then ultimately to development, right? We need to have more equity, more ownership. Now is a great time to, as we're taking over the idea of agency with design, now let's start talking about ownership and equity, which also means what do these financial stacks and structures look like, which again goes back to education. And there's a wealth of knowledge that I've experienced or seen or been able to practice that I would be remiss to just hold it in.
Yeah.
Right. So every time we'll get an email or a phone call for a student or, someone who wants to come in, that to me is like absolutely like bring them in. This is a part of, the project.
Yeah.
Right?
And
This
passing down that information and,
Yeah.
We are wishing you all of the success.
Thank you.
All of the blessings.
Thank you.
All of we want the front row seat at the next Drummond Projects opening. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you for what
It's a
you're
pleasure.
doing. Yeah,
Thank you.
it's necessary.
That means a lot.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks for coming in too.
Yes.